So I'm Mary with Share Your Magic. I love supporting soulful entrepreneurs to share their magic with the world through branding and web design. And I met the guides about, was it 2020? Yeah, we're 2023. So it's been about 3 years now. It has been life changing, to say the least. And the like, if you only had two words to describe it, like say it in a sentence or less, I'd say life changing. I have done multiple private sessions. I've done, I want to say almost every course, maybe not
Yes.
like three of them, but it's been so amazing. And the reason I've like, continuously come back into work, I love working with you, Solera, is because it works and it's easy. It's really practical and simple. I've worked with coaches and I've done courses where I had to just like go really like stretch for, try to get that, go hit that goal or really go out of my comfort zone to like do, complete a task. And, that is all part of growth. And no, with the guides, it's so much easier. It's not about 10 steps. It's not about not 100 steps. It's not even about, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like, okay, for different things in my life, they taught me different things. And that's the thing. I haven't only gone to them for business. I've gone to them for life. I mean, they've helped me in so many different departments: health, love, family, personal things, business, my wealth,
I
buying a
know.
house. Like, I don't think there's any topic you can't talk to them about. And that's so amazing. And the reason I bought it into all the courses is because, some people are like, well, it's like aren't all her courses about wealth? Yeah, but there's like magic and repetition, right? Just hearing the same thing over and over until it finally clicks or until it really gets ingrained into like your cells. So I'm just like, I keep coming back because it works. Like I'm kind of lazy now. The guides have kind of made me a little bit lazy, to be honest, because my old way of doing things was like, let me find out how to do all like this all at the same time in all the ways. I'm going to learn how to like for example, marketing. I'm going to learn how to do all the marketing tactics. Now I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to one thing and I'm going to do it this way and it's going to work. For example, in my marketing, being like, oh, old Mary would have done like all the things and be like, why isn't it working? I find myself and I'm like, no, girl, that's not your way anymore. Like, just chill out. I was constantly going against the current. And now it's like I'm in flow. And I know what that feels like because I can compare who I used to be to who I've become now. And I love the person I've become now. And I love that all the things I've accomplished. I mean, when I first started working with Solera in 2020, like a little bit of a savings account. It was like nothing really to brag about. I was like constantly paycheck to paycheck, client to client. I'd freak out if a client's like, I can't work with you. I'd be like, why am I gonna pay my rent? Things like that. And it's like a little bit embarrassing, but then at the same time, I'm like, no, I should share my story because if someone's in that same place, like I know how you feel. And now it's not like that. And I'm literally like swimming in abundance now, and it's so beautiful. And I've even gotten to a place where I'm constantly giving back because what I love about working with the guides, it's like it's not just about you, it's about what you contribute to the world. And I think that's huge. I think people talk about that, but no, we were actually like told to do it. It was like one of the homework steps, one of the programs I was in. It was a Council of Multimillionaires.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I've always heard people say like, yes, Mary donate or Mary give back or things like that. But no, you were like legit like this is your homework. And I was like, okay, let me go research something. And I've been like giving it. It's been like I see it and I'm like, wow, my little donation is really making an impact. I can't wait to like give, lots and lots and lots and lots of money.
Share what you experienced, like, because you said you just went to New York, right? And you said there were a lot of full circle moments. Like, maybe share some of those.
Yeah, of course. So I was just telling Solera, I went to New York about a week ago and I used to live there. I had moved out there to pursue my dream to get a job in fashion. This was in 2008 when the recession hit. And instead of people hiring, they were like, no, we're actually like laying everybody off. So it was actually a really hard time, but and I was out there living like a starving artist. I remember I didn't have any money. My mom would give me money, but I would actually spend it on clothes rather than food. So I was like really like living on like cup of noodles type of thing. Going back now, it's like, oh my God, it's a full 360. I became the person I had always dreamt of, but I just didn't know how it was going to become possible becoming that person. It's possible. And it was just so beautiful because I got to go with my husband, my now husband, and I was like, oh man, we're doing New York all right. Like we did the fancy restaurants, places I would never even dream of sitting at back in the day. I always thought, oh, it's for the rich people. Like I'm just, not at that level. And like, no, we got to have the fancy dinner. I found myself so emotional in so many places just because I was like, oh my God, this is like what I dreamt of. Like I actually became that person. Like when I was living there at the time with my roommate, she always told me that she's like, Mary, you'd always tell me you want to own a business. And at the time I was working for somebody else and I'm like, yeah, right. How am I ever going to do that? And now I'm celebrating actually 7 years in business, which I really didn't even think I was going to make it past year 3 because that's when I was ready to throw in the towel. I just like I thought I wasn't made for this and I was gonna go back to the corporate world. But I'm so grateful. I'm celebrating 7 years and I'm super abundant. And yeah, you just see this girl crying all over New York because she was so emotional. That was me. I was like, I made it. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. So yeah, I mean, as little or as big as your dreams are, they can come true. Like, I also remember when I started working with you at the time, I really wanted a house at the time. And I remember the like directions I was given, and it happened so magically. So like I'm still in awe of how it all came together. Like it was so easy. It wasn't the like steps I was given was like non-traditional. It was just very much about trusting and surrendering and I don't know specifically what it was at the time, but it wasn't like your something you would Google and find an answer for. It's probably like the opposite what the guides tell you. Let me tell you, you're not going to find the answers of what the guides want you to do on Google. And that's usually where I go for everything. And everything is like personalized to you, which is awesome. Like for me, just imagining my abundance is as simple as like turning on the water faucet.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I'm looking at the water and I'm like, yes, Mary, imagine this.
3 years went by actually really fast, and all the things that you said you wanted have like kind of been checked off now. Like, tell people how the wedding came about. Because remember, when you came to me, we were still determining if the guy was a prince or a frog.
I was in a relationship, but I was like, no, we're gonna break up. The frog did turn into a prince. My thing is, I always played smaller. I hid in, behind the back, like in the shadows when I should really be in the spotlight. And I was always like, no, I'll dream small because I feel like that's what I deserve. Or I will, only think of this because, I don't want to like make anybody uncomfortable or anything like that. I was always dimming my own light. Let's just say it that way. When I first got engaged, I was like, it's fine, I'll just have like a little, wedding in the forest or something, like something super private. I had a humongous wedding. It was a beautiful destination wedding. I had everything I had ever dreamt of. We even had fireworks at the end of the night, and everything became magically together. And it was a destination wedding and it was crazy because almost everybody that we invited came out and I was like, what? Like this is crazy. Yeah, just things that I didn't think were possible for me. If I allowed myself to actually dream it, like I was able to receive it. If I allowed myself to receive and be open to receiving it, it was actually going to come to me. It did come to me. Like there's so many things that I was like, no, that's too much. And then I was like, whatever. And I just kind of like, like surrender. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, we are going to do that thing. And I'd be like, oh, that was easy. So yeah, and I feel like that's kind of how it is with life and business, you know. There's certain times when I'm just like, oh man, like I should be doing this or I should be doing that. And I'm like, nah, well, we'll see. And the next thing you know, I have a big client or like a dream client slides in. Oh, well, that was easy. So there's a lot of trust and surrender that I had to learn with the guides. I got to have a huge wedding, the one that like deep, deep, deep down inside I wanted. I think just like on a conscious level, I never allowed myself to go there. And I don't know, maybe you're listening, you're like deep, deep down inside on a subconscious level, I want certain things, but Mary, I get you. Like, I don't allow myself to go there. You should, because it's totally possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, maybe you can tell people also like the experience with the house, which is really similar, right? Because you wanted like a tiny house.
Yeah, get marrying her tiny dreams. My husband's like a let's go big, and I'm like a no, we can play small. Let's be comfortable. Like I don't want to be uncomfortable. With the wedding, he wanted bigger things, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. If it comes out, it comes out. We had the huge wedding, and same with the house. We got the upgrades. We got the bigger house. Like you know, the things that I deserve. But at the time, you know, marrying her tiny dreams, we're not there yet. But now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, let's go bigger. So
I mean,
yeah.
isn't it so amazing? Because one of the first things we talked about was just, hey, can you go and the homework assignment that the guys gave you was go buy the expensive cheese, right? Instead of like buy the $5
Yeah.
cheese, pick like the $20 cheese. That was like a huge stretch at the time, and now you got
No,
like this really big house.
yeah, no, I remember they told me about going to the market and only buying things that I loved. And I was like, oh, well, that changes everything. So I remember being in the market, well, I love this, I love that, I love that. And they'd be like, okay, when you look at your receipt, you have to love everything on it. And like I literally put like a little heart. I was like, oh, I really love that. I'm so glad I got that. And like things started changing for me because my attitude was so different. And yeah, it was as simple as that. That's what I mean. Like the guides give you like the most practical things, and there some of them are actually like really fun. Like no one's ever told me go to the market, only buy the things that you love. And they would even tell me, they'd be like, go shopping and like buy yourself something. Cause I was the type of person I've always shopped off the sale rack. I've never like really bought in full price. And they'd be like, Mary, go spend $100. It's not gonna make you poor. And I'd be like, I'm gonna spend $100. Like, yeah, I have it, but like, you know, I should probably save it for a bill or something. You know, it's like as simple as that. But no, even I still use that trick till this day. And I'm like, Mary, if you want, you can spend $500 today. Like, you have it. Like, just buy yourself whatever you want for $500 or less. Or if you see the $100 dress, buy it. And I've done that. Like, I think about 3 weeks ago, I went shopping and I was like, all right, my budget today is 500. I think I ended up spending like close to three, but everything I bought was so fun. Like I had such a fun day. I felt like the girl from Clueless with all her bags. I was like, this is so fun. Why haven't I given myself this experience in such a long time? And literally that week I got a lot of clients. So it worked. And like the guys say, like, you're not gonna break the bank. Just get used to like doing these bigger things, you know? And they're basically like, it's cute that you have tiny dreams, but you have to dream bigger.
Yeah.
And they've taught me how to do that. And even with my wedding, like I was trying to like budget and like DIY things and but no, I got the expensive wedding dress. It did not break anyone's bank. Nobody like, you know, went unfed that week. And now I look back at it because when I'm like looking at $100 dress, I'm like, Mary, but it's not like 50% off, you know? I'm like, Mary, you spent a lot on a wedding dress that you only wore for a few hours. Like you can do this. You know, so it's just like I look back at things and I'm like, wow, like if I was able to do that, then I could do this. And just always thinking about those little rules that the guides would give me, like, you're not gonna die if you spend $100 at the store is something like I didn't grow up doing, or you know, like I said, I was a starving artist at one point.
Yeah, that's
But
amazing.
it works. It's helped me in so many ways. So for my house, I was like, I asked the guys, I was like, hey guys, so I'm freaking out. I have the house, but I have to buy furniture. And like old Mary, you know, would have like bought things off like Craigslist, you know, and like kind of just fix them. And they're like, no, Mary, you have to go find furniture shopping. You have to go sit on the couch. You have to feel the energy. You have to end up buying a $5,000 couch. And I was like, that's like not in my budget. I mean, do I have the money? Yes, but like what? That's not how I grew up. Like, you don't just go and buy a $5,000 couch. But over time, I did the homework. I would go into the expensive stores. I remember looking at a pair of blankets and they're like $300. No, a pair of like bed sheets. And I was like, $300 bed sheets. I was like, okay, totally not what I would ever do. But I was like, this feels nice. And like I just went week after week after week, and I was just like, okay, $300 bed sheets. That's like my new normal. I can do that. And I love my furniture. Like I
Oh.
just feel so upgraded. And like that's something I had to just get accustomed to because I wasn't. I spent a lot of money when I moved into my house, but it all came back. So right when I thought like, okay, well, there goes my savings. Nope, it all came back. It's just like it's a beautiful exchange of energy. They taught me not to hoard either, because I would always be like, so I have money, but like I'm holding on to it, because I like to know that I'm financially secure. Like, no, Mary, you can't hoard your money. Like it's energy. You have to move it. You have to give it. You have to spend it. You have to this. And then it's changed so many things for me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I mean, I think the thing that stands out the most is how happy you are. Would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I might have some moments where I freak out again, and then I'm just like, no, Mary, that's like the old life. Like, you don't have to go back there anymore. You know better now. And yeah, it's just like little reminders. And the cool thing is like, it's never been about like sit down and listen to this meditation for an hour every day for 90 days. It's never been anything crazy like that. I've done those things and yeah, they worked, but not really. Um, like the guides are just like they give you simple things to follow or like fun things. Like I was never told to go furniture shopping just to feel the energy of things or go to the market and buy your favorite things. But those are the things that help me shift what I needed to shift in order to, become the person that I am today.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so proud of you, Mary. You've done a really good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you.
Really, really good work. And thank you so much for sharing your experience. I mean, it's just amazing to witness your growth. You really have like changed so much since the time that we met.
So much. The girl with her little dreams, trying to hide in the corner. No, I had to become the opposite.
I'm so proud of you. Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.